Breaking news: a Nigerian general has once again tried to put Ipob in the same basket with Boko Haram and Fulani bandits, calling them terrorists. But my people, let's ask ourselves, who are the real terrorists? Is it Ipob, a movement calling for freedom and justice, or the Fulani Herdsmen who slaughter innocent villagers across Nigeria? Today, we will break it down pieces by pieces, expose the lies, and uncover the truth they don't want you to know.
Boko Haram kill people, the Ipob kill people, the bandits, so-called bandits, also kill people. So, as far as we are concerned, they are all terrorist organizations.
Do you think Nigerians see them as terrorists?
The federal government said so. They have declared as terrorist groups by law. If you want a state to be created out of your zone, there are ways you can go about doing it in a lawful manner, not through killing people.
What's the lawful manner for you?
They should go through what the constitution says. Nigeria is a sovereign country. It has its rules, it has its laws, it has its constitution. You cannot create or try to impose what you felt can guarantee your own rights. No, you have to respect the right of other people.
Why you must watch to the end? Stay with me till the very last second of this video, because at the end I will reveal one shocking reason why Ipob is feared more than Fulani Herdsmen by the Nigerian government. That one truth will change how you see Nigeria forever. Don't miss it. The dirty propaganda war from 2017 till today, Ipob has been the target of one of the most dangerous propaganda wars in Africa. The Nigerian government branded it a terrorist group, not because Ipob bombed cities, but because Ipob demanded freedom and exposed injustice. Think about it. When Ipob members march peacefully, soldiers open fire. When they wear Biafra colors, DSS storm them. Yet, Fulani Herdsmen who carry AK-47 rifles and attack whole village are described as nothing more than criminals. This is not by mistake. It is a deliberate information war. They want the world to associate Ipob with violence, so that when the real violence from Fulani Herdsmen happens, it is ignored. The Nigerian state knows that the word terrorist is powerful. Once stamped on a group, people stop asking questions, and that is how Ipob, a freedom movement, became a propaganda target. And that is just the beginning. In the next segment, we will expose how Fulani Herdsmen became one of the deadliest groups in the world, why Ipob is still called terrorists. The world knows Fulani Herdsmen. The global terrorism index does not lie. In report after report, Fulani Herdsmen have been ranked among the top 5 deadliest terrorist groups in the entire world. This is not social media talk. It is official international research from Nigeria to Mali, from Cameroon to Niger. Fulani militias have destroyed thousands of lives. They raid villages at night, kill farmers, and burn houses, and leave survivors in tears. Take Benue State, for example. Mass graves. That story that the government hides. Plateau State, once known as the home of peace and tourism, is now a land of blood. Southern Kaduna lives in permanent mourning, yet Nigerian leaders describe these herdsmen as misunderstood or angry farmers. Imagine that. Meanwhile, Ipob holds a rally with flags and songs, and suddenly the army is on the streets with armored vehicles. Ipob members are arrested for carrying banners, but Fulani Herdsmen walk free with AK-47. This advocacy is not accidental. It is part of the grand plan. But Why does the government cover up Fulani crimes? The answer is deeper than you think. Let's go there in the next segment. Why Ipob is the target? Why does Nigeria target Ipob with more aggression than Boko Haram or Herdsmen? The answer is simple. Ipob threatened the foundation of the system Boko Haram. Boko Haram may want chaos, but Ipob wants justice. Boko Haram fights to destroy, but Ipob fights to expose the truth of Nigeria's structure. And that truth is dangerous for the people in power. Ipob talks about Biafra, about ending marginalization, about freedom from oppression. These are not just words. They challenge the political and economic dominance of those who benefit from the status. And the Fulani ruling elite cannot allow that. So, rather than argue with Ipob's ideas, they use force. They label Ipob terrorists, not because Ipob kills, but because Ipob challenge their dominance. Why General Tukur say Ipob kills? He is not speaking fast. He is repeating a script. It is a script writing to protect the Fulani agenda, to silence the Igbo voice, and to keep the international community confused. But wait, didn't the courts already cancel Ipob terrorist label? Yes, they did. Let's talk about that next. The court versus the generals. In 2023, a high court in Enugu ruled clearly proscribing Ipob as a terrorist group was illegal. The court even awarded Nnamdi Kanu billions in damages, admitting that his rights were violated. Legally speaking, Ipob is not a terrorist organization in Nigeria anymore. That is the law. But ask yourself, why do generals still go on TV and call Ipob terrorists? Why does general keep repeating it? Because propaganda is more powerful than the truth in Nigeria. They know many people will never read the court judgment. They know headlines last longer than legal rulings. So they keep repeating the lie even after the court corrects it. This is how propaganda works. The government paints Ipob black, and no matter what the court say, the stain remain in public memory. But the truth is, legally, Ipob has been free from that label. The generals are simply disobeying the courts. In the next segment, let's compare Ipob and Fulani Herdsmen. Who kills and who defends? Look at the evidence. Ipob has never bombed a church, never kidnapped schoolgirls, never wiped out whole villages. Instead, Ipob Eastern Security Network was formed to defend farmers and villages from Herdsmen attacks. Their mission was clear: stop Fulani militants from taking over Igbo land. That is self-defense, not terrorism. On the other side, Fulani Herdsmen have killed more people than any group apart from Boko Haram. They raid farms, destroy food supplies, and leave communities in hunger and fear. Villagers in Benue, Plateau, and Kaduna still count their dead every week. These are not rumors. They are fact reported by both Nigeria and international organizations. So, how is it that the group defending its people is the terrorists, while the group killing thousands is described as farmers and herders crisis? This is the greatest injustice of our time. It is not about truth. It is about protecting an agenda. Up next, we will expose the international advocacy surrounding Ipob and Fulani Herdsmen. International advocacy. Let's talk about the world stage. International organizations know Fulani Herdsmen are deadly. Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and even UN reports have documented their killings. So why does the global community stay silent? The answer is politics. Nigeria is rich in oil and natural resources. foreign powers prefer to keep a friendly government in Abuja than to listen to the cries of villagers in Benue or Anambra. That is why you hear Ipob in the headlines more than Fulani Herdsmen. The West is interested in movements that could break Nigeria, not in exposing Herdsmen killings. It is not that they don't know, it is that their economic interests matter more than human lives. The Nigerian government use this silence to its advantage. It keeps shouting Ipob is terrorist to keep the West focused there while Fulani killers operate in silence. It is a double game, and ordinary Nigerians pay the price. But let's go deeper. Why do the Fulani Herdsmen enjoy such protection from government? The Fulani agenda, Fulani Herdsmen are not just cattle rearers, they are part of a bigger picture, a silent expansion from the Middle Belt to the south. Their attacks follow a clear pattern: destroy villages, kill resistors, occupy land. This is not random, it is organized, it is conquest disguised as grazing. The Nigerian ruling elite, dominated by Fulani, knows this. That is why they protect the Herdsmen. They want to spread Fulani influence across Nigeria. It is a slow takeover, and Ipob stands directly in the way of that plan. Ipob says, no, our land is not for sale. Ipob say Biafra must rise. That is why Ipob is attacked with propaganda. While Fulani Herdsmen are shaded, general and others know this truth, but they cannot say it openly. Instead, they call Ipob terrorists to cover the real terrorist agenda happening in daylight. But how does all this affect ordinary Nigerians like you and me? Let's talk about that next. The cost to ordinary people. This propaganda war is not just politics, it destroys lives. Every time the government call Ipob terrorists, soldiers are sent to the street of the southeast, youth are shot, families mourn, villages live in fear. Every time Fulani Herdsmen are excused as criminals, more communities are wiped out in Benue, Plateau, and Kaduna. Farmers lost their land, food prices rise, hunger spread. The propaganda benefits only the elite. Ordinary Nigerians pay with blood and poverty. Sit-at-home orders, insecurity, and economic collapse are all consequences of all this propaganda war. Instead of solving problem, the government play labeling game. Ipob is painted black to justify killings in the east, while Fulani Herdsmen enjoy silence to continue their expansion. When truth is buried, the people suffer. That is why propaganda is deadly. It is not just lies, it is blood on the streets. But what about Nigeria's unity? Is this not destroying the country itself? Let's look at that next. Unity or advocacy. Nigeria claims it is one nation, but the way Ipob and Fulani Herdsmen are treated expose the truth in this one Nigeria. Some groups can kill and be excused, while others demanded freedom and are killed. Is that unity or is that advocacy? True unity is built on fairness, but Nigeria is built on selective justice. That is why the Southeast feel excluded. That is why Ipob continues to grow. Every time generals shout Ipob is terrorist, they push Nigeria closer to division. They think bullets can silence truth, but they are wrong. A country cannot survive by silencing one part of its people. If Nigeria wants to remain one, it must face truth, not hide behind propaganda. Otherwise, the same unity they claim to defend will collapse under their own lies. And now, the final segment. The shocking truth about why Ipob is feared more than Fulani Herdsmen. The shocking truth, here is the truth. The government fears Ipob is not fear because of violence. Ipob is fear because it is an idea. An idea cannot be killed. Herdsmen kill bodies, but Ipob awakens minds. You can bury a victim, but you cannot bury an idea. That is why Ipob is more dangerous to the system than Fulani Herdsmen. Herdsmen spread fear, Ipob spread awareness. Herdsmen occupy land, Ipob occupy hearts. The Nigerian government know this. That is why generals like Tukur keep shouting, Ipob is terrorist. They hope that by repeating the lie, people will stop listening to Ipob's truth. But history teach us lies never last. Freedom movement at life, propaganda from South Africa, ANC to America's civil rights movement. Truth always wins in the end. The shocking truth is this: Ipob is fear not because it kills, but because it cannot be killed. Now you see the truth. The real terrorists walk free, while freedom seekers are branded criminals. General Tukur may say Ipob is terrorist, but history will prove him wrong. My people, don't let propaganda win. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Smash the like button. Share this video so the truth spread, and subscribe for more fearless analysis. Hashtag justice for Nnamdi Kanu. Hashtag free Nnamdi Kanu now. Hashtag stop Fulani killings.